Okay, so one musician sells their entire music catalog. That's usually it, right? End of the story. But not for Justin Bieber. He did that and then, bam, drops two surprise albums. So what on earth is going on? We're going to break down this whole fascinating new strategy.
All right, first things first, let's talk about the move that had everyone thinking it was all over. Back in 2023, Bieber sold, well, everything. The rights to every single song he'd ever put out. For most artists, a deal that big is a legacy move. You know, it's the cash out and right off into the sunset play.
Which brings us to the big question, the real head scratcher here. If you've literally just sold your past, why would you turn around and immediately start building a brand new future? And not just with one album, but two, back to back. It just doesn't seem to add up, right? So what's the real play?
To get to the bottom of this, we've got to start with the news that started this whole conversation in the first place. Bieber's super sudden, totally unexpected return.
And I mean, it happened just like that. Blink and you'd miss it. On a Thursday, Bieber just announces, hey, my new album Swag 2 is coming out, and it's coming out tomorrow. No big rollout, no months of teasing, just a 24-hour warning. In the music world today, that's basically light speed. It's wild.
And get this wasn't some random one-time thing. He pulled the exact same move back in July with the first Swag album, so you've got this back-to-back surprise drop. It's pretty clear this is a deliberate strategy, and it is a complete 180 from how he used to do things. Okay, so let's dive into these two projects, because they're really defining this whole new swag era for Bieber. When you put them side by side, you can totally see how they're connected, but also how they're different. So Swag Part 1, that had this really stark black cover art, but the sequel, Swag 2, has this soft, pale pink cover. The first album was all about exploring fatherhood, and then he announces the second one with a photo of his family. You see what he's doing here? He's telling one big, continuous, and super personal story. And yeah, that first Swag album was a really big deal, a really personal statement. We're talking 21 tracks where he's just digging into everything, his life, his marriage, and this brand new role as a dad. Okay, but here's where things get really interesting because this new creative chapter seems to fly right in the face of that massive business deal he made just last year. I mean, look at this timeline. When you see it all laid out, the contradiction is just crystal clear. In 2021, he drops Justice, a totally standard, successful album cycle. Then, in 2023, boom, he sells his music rights to Hypnosis. That's the move you make when you're wrapping things up. But instead of slowing down, he hits the gas, dropping Swag and now Swag 2, one after the other. And we really have to be clear about just how huge this 2023 deal was. We're not talking about a few B-sides. This was everything. All 6 of his studio albums. You know, the massive global hits that basically defined pop music for a generation? Songs like Sorry and Baby? Yeah, he doesn't control those anymore. So, if the money from his old music is off the table, what's pushing him to create all this new stuff? Well, the answer seems pretty clear. His art is mirroring his life now more than ever before. You know, this quote really nails it. The music itself is telling the story. The themes are love, life, and, yeah, fatherhood. It kind of feels like he's not chasing those #1 hits anymore. Instead, he's just documenting this huge new chapter in his own life. And if you need any more proof, here it is. He didn't announce Swag 2 with some big, flashy music video teaser. Nope. He announced it with a really personal photo of him, his wife Haley, and their son Jack. I mean, he is literally showing us his inspiration. Right now, his music and his life are totally intertwined. So when you put all of these pieces together, selling the catalog, starting a family, these surprise albums, it stops looking like a contradiction and starts looking like a whole new playbook for how to be a superstar. So here it is, the new Justin Bieber Playbook, in 3 simple steps. First, you'll lock down your financial future by cashing in on your past hits. Step 2, you let this huge new life event, becoming a dad, be your new source of inspiration. And that brings you to step 3. You use all that freedom to make and release really personal music on your own terms whenever you feel like it, completely outside the old school music industry machine. And this all leaves us with this huge, thought-provoking question that's way bigger than just Justin Bieber. Could this be the new blueprint for modern superstars? Selling the past to fund a future where you have total creative freedom? I mean, the freedom to just make art about the moment without having to worry about charts or what the label wants. It's a pretty fascinating thought,
and we are watching it play out in real time.